Most people class themselves as overthinkers, which is quite vague because the human mind is quite active anyway. So what's the line between a normal amount of thinking and overthinking? Nevertheless, in an era of increasing self-induced ADHD, people are finding themselves anxious, indecisive, and overthinking. How can we fix this? Most people will tell you to do things like journal to collect your thoughts, meditate to make you feel more present, and to reduce the overstimulation of your mind by using things like phones and laptops a lot less. And these things do work, so I would tell you to do them as well. However, I do think there's a better way we can become more decisive, less anxious, and do the things that we actually want to do. We can do this by underthinking. What do I mean by that? It means having little to no thought about the actions that we need and want to take. Obviously, within reason, you don't want to cause harm to others or yourself. But underthinking is the cheat code that we need to be using, especially to do things like procrastinate less and actually complete the tasks that we set ourselves. Underthinking actually removes the need for discipline or willpower. When we set ourselves tasks, whether it be going to the gym, eating healthily, or going to approach a pretty stranger, if we give ourselves long enough to think, then we start to develop resistance and our brain tells us why it's a horrible decision. By underthinking, there's no decision to be made. We just do the thing before our brain finds reasons and excuses as to why we shouldn't complete the action. It's good to think before we act, but sometimes we need to act before we think, especially if we know the action is beneficial to us. When we're trying to build good habits or do things outside of our comfort zone, you can't allow time for negotiations. At the most, you can give yourself a countdown, and on go, you have to act. You have to move in some capacity. When I used to struggle getting out of bed, and I still do sometimes, especially in the winter, I would give myself a countdown. I would go 3, 2, 1, get the fuck up. And if I didn't thrust myself out of bed or throw the covers, then I would at least kick one leg out of the bed because some movement is better than none. Another reason to underthink is because we can only make a finite amount of good decisions in a day. Science actually says the more decisions we make, the harder the next decision becomes and our willpower and discipline decreases. Underthinking allows us to avoid wasting too much brain power. One way we can do this is by creating a routine and constants in our life. I'm reminded of the TV show Big Bang Theory, when Sheldon uses dice to make his decisions and to free up space in his mind. This is an option, but there are easier and less risky ways you can do this. For example, you can meal prep for the whole week, so you don't have to worry about getting the ingredients or cooking every day. Another example is wearing similar clothes every day, instead of wasting time thinking about what to wear. This is something a lot of successful people do. They'll have the same shirt in like 10 different shades, but it removes the need to think about what they're going to wear. It's helpful. It takes out the guesswork, which is the beneficial part of having a routine. Underthinking with less meaningful decisions allows us to apply more willpower to those that are meaningful. To summarize, don't allow room for reasoning or thinking. Just do the thing, irrespective of how you feel. Kind of like a robot. Don't waste brain power on less meaningful decisions. We can do this by creating routines and making daily decisions a lot more simple. Underthinking is necessary to become more decisive and action-oriented. Underthinking doesn't come naturally to us, but with practice and the right things in place, temporarily switching off our brain can help us become who we want to be. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.